this is the model that is being proposed by both the UK and Sweden in their 2018 proposal, and to a certain extent by the Dutch with their latest proposal a couple of weeks ago. And again, after this, Libra 2.0 came up, and Libra 2.0, which moved from an era of a kind of a new Libra coin they had to actually basically a single currency stable coin, again, being pleasing and more in compliance with the different regulations around the world. And Libra 2.0 has various differences compared to what we had before. For example, there is not a separate digital currency, but it's actually digital composite, a bit like what the IMF has, and where compliance with global regulations becomes critical. They're going to be licensed, the Libra Association with FINMA, and again, it's going to be very focused on that. And I'll finish it off with the big elephant in the room, which is China. China, as you all know, has been exploring digital yuan for some time. As you can see here, Xi Jinping last year made a big announcement on how blockchain technology is an important breakthrough where they need to increasingly invest. Bitcoin mining was removed from the list of the prohibited activities, which is issued from the NDRC, which is National Development and Reform Commission in China. And as well, literally a couple of weeks ago, the Chinese central bank, the People's Bank of China, confirmed that they are launching this pilot in 4 cities, which is in Shenzhen, Chengdu, Shougang, which is around China, and Suzhou on the eastern part of China. And this pilot will launch soon. So again, and there's a number of issues, there's a number of particularities to this China DCEP. I won't have time to go into it, but again, there's a lot of differences that make it very specific. It's obviously a permission network, has a lot of familiarities that the central bank will like from that side. But again, very, very interesting development when it comes to the growth on this. So again, I'll stop here. Again, I just want to finish it off to say with my big warning that anybody tells you they're a crypto expert, you're going to run away. But hopefully these 5 developments that I shared with you all are insightful of where we are heading from a global institutional perspective. For those of you who want to find out more, you can find me on Twitter at henryarslanyan.com. But the best way to find me is on my LinkedIn, where I have this weekly show called the Crypto Capsule, where I summarize global developments you need to know in less than 60 seconds. And I have my weekly newsletter called The Future of Money that comes out every Saturday, which again, you can find on my LinkedIn page. You can find the scan here. You can see it here. So thank you very much, everybody. It was a pleasure sharing my passion of the future of money with all of you. And I'll pass it back to you, Sergey and Ivan. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Henry. Actually, we have still 5 minutes, and so maybe I can answer you some questions. I can ask you some questions. So regarding the latest development with Telegram and with this withdrawal from further development of the network. So what's your opinion? How it will influence on the whole crypto market, and what will be the next with this?
Yeah, thank you, Ivan. Great question. And no, obviously, I think for the audience, as you know, Telegram did a token sale about 2018, where they raised $1.7 billion, where they were building a new second generation blockchain called Ton. And really, the goal was to leverage the Telegram messaging platform that many of you have, which already has a couple 100 million users, and actually kind of new way for people to exchange value on it. Unfortunately, they came into a number of issues, which is that, although 1.2 billion of the 1.7 they raised was from investors outside of the US, there was again a couple 100 million from US investors. And the US regulators, as well as the courts, judged that what they've issued was a security. So obviously what the issuance was in violation of securities rules, but also that, which is obviously quite controversial, that they could not issue the token to people around the world because there was a risk that a US person would have access to it. Again, we can spend the whole afternoon debating whether it's an extraterritorial impact of the US regulations and US courts. But I think this brings a couple of important points. One of them is that I expect to see regulatory compliance to be even more at the forefront of anybody doing token sales. Token sales will continue, and there's been continuing. As you know, PwC will release every year a global ICO, STO, IEO report. You can find a lot of data. Again, you can Google that online. But I think the biggest impact of this will be that, unfortunately, I think we're still going to see a lot of the developments in the crypto space happen outside of the US. And I think we may see kind of 2 roles develop, where we're going to have the US crypto ecosystem, where some projects will actively make the decision to target US investors. But I think for many of them, they will just stay outside of the US. And frankly, right now, I would argue, and as many of you know, I'm based in Hong Kong, that if where I'm seeing the most activity right now globally when it comes to crypto, I would probably argue it's probably Asia. And I think that's where we're seeing a lot of increased activity now in Asia compared to the West. So again, that's I would say our two main takeaways. But again, it brings in a topic that unfortunately this is something that a lot of projects will need to deal with moving forward.
Okay, great. So, and my second question is about STOs. So, what do you think about, like, because it's still not very popular model, and it's still, I think, the reason is the regulation in different countries, and basically, like, many people and me as well, so have the opinion that STO basically it's not very different from IPO, for example, when there are like only accredited investors are allowed to buy the security tokens.
Yes, yeah, thank you, Ivan. I mean, so on the security token offering, I think it's a very interesting development. So again, if I put my my professor hat, I put my lawyer hat on, I think security token offerings are very exciting for a couple of reasons, right? Obviously, for the audience to know what does a security token offer do is, for example, if I take a big building today, I may not be able to buy a big building. A lot of large buildings have what we call a illiquidity discount because only a few people can buy these big illiquid assets. Imagine if I take a big building and now I separate into 10,000 little tranches of of a certain amount of money, then it not only creates more liquidity, as in more people can buy it, but also again, this is very exciting from a lawyer perspective, allows you to completely streamline corporate actions and also voting. Today, if any public company who's listed on a stock exchange wants to conduct do a dividend, literally we call it X date, where everything stops so we can know who the shareholders are and do a dividend payment. Which frankly, in 2020, it's a bit embarrassing that that's how we operate. The beauty of security tokens offerings is that basically now enables us, frankly, to maybe move to even not only quarterly dividends, but also a weekly, daily dividends if we wanted to, or even live dividends if we wanted to. And I think so. Really, I think it allows us to have the process a bit way more streamlined than we have today. I think right now we're seeing some challenges with our STOs. I think the technology is ready. I'm seeing many platforms today around the world that allows us to do an STO really in way more improved ways than we have in the traditional ways. The problem we're seeing is threefold. One of them is there's a number of platforms, so which one is going to be the dominant one? Second is the investor interest. Again, for a lot of the investors, they're not too familiar with security token offerings. And that's why, ironically, a lot of the crypto companies are still raising money with traditional convertible notes or traditional fundraising equity rounds. So unfortunately, that's what we're seeing right now. Unfortunately, also for your point on retail investors, I do not believe that even if security tokens become more accepted, that we're going to be able to target the retail audience anytime soon. Because again, security tokens fall within the regulatory space of the retail and institutional investor when it comes to marketing. And I do not believe that we will be allowed to market security tokens to retail public in the same way that you're not allowed to market securities, unless to the public, unless you're registering them. So I do not think that will change from that perspective. Although for professional investors, it may get streamed down.
Yeah, fully agree. Okay, Henry, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your keynote. It's really great information, and yeah, thank you very much for being the first speaker on our event.
I look forward to keeping in touch with the audience via LinkedIn or it's Twitter. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, bye-bye. Thank you, Henry. Yeah, bye.
Even that was pretty.
Live streaming is on.
Yeah.
Okay, we are live. I think we are live now, right, Sergey?
No, not yet. Please.
No, we are
Couple of seconds, please. Yes, we go on live on our right time. Just keep calm. Everything is good. Yes.
Okay, fine. So just let me know when we are live.
We still have 2 minutes.
Guys, we can we can arrange the lunch. We can launch our meeting now. Jianyong, you can go ahead. Yes, now we are alive. We are on air, and your turn.
Yeah, let me introduce. So we have here Tian Yang, who is the CEO of Teams. You can introduce yourself. So you can introduce your company. And I know you were doing the live event last week, so that was great also. Yeah. So your turn, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the introduction. Hello, everyone. This is Tian. My full name is Tianyu Yang. I'm the CEO of Teams. As you mentioned last week, we also host an online virtual summit. It was pretty fun, and thanks for the opportunity to have me today.
Nice, great.
Yeah. So Teams is a blockchain solution company. We started from 2017 until now. We have been in this industry for 3 years. So thanks again. That's the week. I think you guys are doing a really great job to have everyone to share knowledge, information, even experience about cryptocurrency and also blockchain technology. So today my topic is going to be why marketing and community is pretty important for projects. So I'm going to share my screen now.
Everything is good? Yes, you can see the screen share button in the left. The monitor appears.
Yeah, I put it already. But after the share button and nothing came up.
Oh, really? So nothing coming up, right?
Yeah.
Can you try to log in from another browser?
Daniel, please try to log in via another browser. Do you have it on your on your computer?
Again?
Daniel, we see
Chrome.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
This doesn't work. Do you have another one browser on your computer now?
Yeah, I have. I'm trying to log in from
try to log in via another browser.
Sure.
The best way to do it via Google Chrome, if you have it.
Yeah, this moment I'm in Google Chrome.
You hear now talking via Google Chrome?
Yes. Let me try again.
Okay, yeah.
Live streaming is on.
Another browser doesn't work.
Иван, ты сможешь взять презентацию, если надо?
Or I can send my deck to you. Maybe
Yes,
you
for
can
sure. Yes, for
your
sure.
screen,
Иван, ты
okay?
сможешь взять презентацию? Иван тут?
I'm here. Yeah. You can
Yes,
send
yes.
me the presentation and I can share it.
So I send the presentation to the group, okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, which group did you send the presentation? Because I can't.
Now Tianyu is not with us. That's why, yes, maybe he goes to reconnect to our speaker room.